As a collegiate student athlete curious about finance, I explore how emotions affect financial decisions. But why are emotions worth exploring? Well, regardless of race, class, gender, we all feel these emotions, whether we want to or not. And so, this unspoken language that we all feel, we all know, and we can all communicate with, we disregard it. We suppress these emotions. And so this podcast aims to uncover the mysterious and disregarded language that seems to take over our lives, to take over our financial decisions. So let's first off understand what are emotions. Emotions are the complex psychological states that involve a combination of physiological responses, behavioral expressions, and conscious experiences. They are often considered a natural part of being human, influencing how we perceive and interact with the world. And what are some bad financial decisions emotions make us do? Why do they say keep emotions out of investing? That myth, right? Well, you often feel like fear. You often feel FOMO, greed. Whether you want to admit that or not, you do. It's human. We're human. And so an example of that is panic selling. We sell at a loss and we lock in that damage, the risk aversion, pressure to find that perfect job, imposter syndrome, not thinking we're good enough, tying our self-worth to our income, spending to make others happy, and avoiding feeling that guilt, right? So that's over-gifting to avoid being cheap, right? Chasing the hype, thinking that you're not earning enough money compared to others, right? And the same goes with overconfidence. Instead of fear, it's the opposite side. Overconfidence when you're investing. These risky bets, feeling invincible after you have a few good picks, and you're like, wow, investing is easy. And so you make risky bets because of your overconfidence, right? In jobs, you think that you can get whatever job that you want because you're such a good candidate, right? And an example for spending. I got a bonus. I deserve to treat myself. So all of these emotions, right, especially regret, one of the biggest ones is regret, right? When it comes to investing, you have that paralysis. Oh, I made that bad mistake. I'm never going to invest again because I can't make that again. And so we're going to explore all of these different emotions, right? One for me, confirmation bias was a huge thing. Looking up all of the information that would prove me right, rather than assessing what was really going on. So understanding our emotions better is the key to a successful investor. And think about it. Let's think about it from a physiological perspective. Why do we keep emotions out of investing? Why do we want to keep emotions out of investing? Well, from a physiological perspective, emotions aren't separate from logic. They are essential to decision making, right? If you know anything about neuroscience, your body, your amygdala, psychology students maybe out there, well, the amygdala processes emotional responses. Your prefrontal cortex handles planning and rational thinking, relying on emotional input to assess what is important. So, what are some ways that I'm going to help you guys and me understand our emotions and how they affect our financial decisions? Well, firstly, right, this physiological and neurological lens of why psychologically, physiologically, we feel these emotions and act on them, so we know why we feel what we feel when interpreting and engaging with our financial decisions. There's also a series called Passion or Corporate. This one is about personal experiences and reflecting on emotions and learning, adapting about the career path, showing that you're not alone, and understanding that emotions are real and they're normal, and sharing how others have learned from these experiences, right? I'm going to have athletes on, I'm going to have investment bankers on, I'm going to have consultants on, or whomever. Everybody in this world has gone through this. It's just their different lens, and I want to share that with you. Another series is Investing and. It's a philosophical lens, showing how the stock market is the best way to understand life, connecting other subjects in the world and topics, and showing how investing relates to them and how everything is interconnected, right? And that's a lot. That's a lot I'm trying to share with you, but I think that it's so meaningful in following this fundamental principle of the ancient Japanese ideal of NAGOMI, right? We can achieve inner peace, we can achieve harmony, balance for a sustainable and happy life through understanding how our emotions affect our financial decisions, right? Everything comes together. It's not black and white. So how are these podcasts structured? So I love music. I listen to music all the time. It's the thing that makes me sane. So I'll start with analyzing a quote from a song I recently heard and find relevant to the topic at hand. And then I'll get into discussing how emotions from a physiological and philosophical lens affect financial decisions in investing, career, or spending to help us understand our emotions and become better investors. And lastly, provide key insight and takeaways from the investigation, providing actionable steps of this understanding to crush financial anxiety.